Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. We are in October, but picking up right where we left off last episode because we have a lot of changes to go over today. First and foremost, our production options up here in town have changed. I was able to finally figure out how to have these productions owned by the map, so we no longer have control over the cement factory, the BGA over here, or our woodworking shop over here. And I'll show you guys in the menu in just a second. We don't have these productions in our control anymore, which is great news because we didn't want to own them. We wanted them to be part of the map. So what we're going to have to do, because we still need the furniture and the prefab walls and the BGA and everything else, we are going to be leasing these. Which is the way it should have been from the start, and is the way it's going to be moving forward. So coming in here, let's get everything. At least I don't think we need the cement factory right now because we don't need any of that stuff for the cabin. So those two are leased. Now let's jump into the woodworking shop because, guys, we need so many things made. So let's get... we need to have furniture from planks long going. That's at 300%. Furniture from planks going. Furniture from wood going. And we need prefabbed walls as well. So all that stuff is back up and running. We did get a couple of things overnight. So we got a couple prefab walls, as you can see, and one box of furniture in the bed of the truck. So let's head on back to the farm where there are even more and bigger changes for us to go over. Get the headlights on. It is a little dark here in the rain today in October. A balmy 45 degrees this morning. So let's get headed back over here, and I'll meet you guys back at the farm to go over those changes. Just got done dropping off those prefab walls and the furniture at the house. Let's take a look at the cabin. Let's take a look and see. Still missing 1,000 liters or 1 pallet of the prefab walls, and we still need an additional 5,000 liters of furniture. So you can hear all the work going on in there. We are getting that cabin built, but there is a lot left to do. So, big changes with the cattle this morning. We are running Realistic Livestock 1.2.0.3, which is the fix to the non-mod hub release of version 1.2.0.2, which introduced a whole bunch of new features. So we're going to go over those features. I have a video out on those as well. So we're not going to do like a how-to tutorial, but we need to decide how we're going to handle those updates here on the ranch. So I haven't done the shifting or anything today. So let's head over to the birthing barn and take a look at what changes we have. So within the menu, we have our normal buy animals, the animals we own, the animal information with a couple new features with the ability to mark animals. So you can see I can mark them here, which is going to be helpful for shifting and that kind of stuff. And then we have the ability to start artificial insemination, and then we have the disease menu where if any of our animals get sick, it will let us know. So I'm thinking we spent a lot of time last episode trying to solve the issues of having enough bulls. I'm wondering if we should bring in some artificial insemination practices to the farm as well. So let's grab the Herdsman stick. Let's go through the shift together this morning and figure out how we want to handle getting these animals, what they need, where they need, and how all of that is going to happen. So, running over to the birthing barn. This is, and I may not have done this with you guys recently, this is the way I do the shift in the morning. I start in the birthing barn, I come in here, and we're looking for any of the calves that are over 2 months. So we'll grab here, and we know once we get to one that's 2 months, the rest are 2 months. Any full-grown female that is out of recovery, we want to be moving over to the breeding barn. We got to look at our bulls here real quick. Couple of 2-month-old bulls. There's a nice young Holstein. Here's a Holstein ready to go back to the breeding barn, back to the breeding barn, back to the breeding barn, back to the breeding barn. Leads me to believe that we'll have a couple of bulls, calves here that we're ready to move as well. Still in recovery. This one's ready to be moved. Still too young. 2 months. Still in recovery. Ready to go. Still in recovery. And those are too young. Onto the Hereford, or the Herefords. Let's see. Recovering. Ready to move. And here we go. So let's see. Here for bull. And good to go. Wow, we have a lot of water buffalo. One of the things I'm excited about is the addition of the herdsman, who can help us with getting our herd in the shape we want it to be. One of the things we've been discussing over the last couple episodes is sort of when to sell the animals, and I think we can basically automate that at this stage and have the herdsman do that for us. So let's move 23 animals onto the herdsman stick, and let's head over to the Teen Town barn. Had a great, just an excellent suggestion for this fourth pen, the open pen straight ahead. We had been calling that, we've been using that as Adult Swim, but we've been sort of keeping the older animals in there. That is now going to be, this one right in front of me is going to be the nursing home pen for the old animals who have seen their better days. So jumping in here, any animals that are ready to go, basically are full size, we're going to grab out of here. And we don't want to do that. We want to be in the pen. So grab all of these. There should be no bulls in here unless we really, really get full. So got a nice number of full-size animals. Gonna move another 6 animals onto the herdsman stick. That is excellent. Let's go through and check our calf pens. I'm interested to see, with the addition of the disease functionality to realistic livestock, if we end up seeing any difference in young animals getting sick versus old animals getting sick. We'll just have to wait and see. Any animal that is sort of adolescent age, bigger than a newborn calf, is going to get moved. And then we're going to grab any of the smaller animals and put them into the calf huts, where we can keep them fed and warm and taken care of. This one looks like we are good. No teen animals in there. Got a nice looking teen Holstein. Actually, 2 of them in here we can go ahead and grab. So we'll take 2 out of here, move those guys over. We're going to put 2 new young animals. We'll grab 1 here. We don't put bulls into the calving huts anymore. They go directly into the bull pen because they are going to be kept separate from the rest of the animals. And we should have, yep, we have 5 animals in there. Another adolescent animal here. At least 1. Let's see. Yep, have a nice Angus adolescent. Get that one moved. And we might be... Do we have more young non-bull calves to move? Water buffalo, they are all bulls. Hereford's a bull. Yeah, and the Holsteins are bulls. So we are done putting animals in the calf huts. This is the sort of ebb and flow of the calf hut. Seems like sometimes we're struggling to have any space at all, and then other times we're taking more animals out than we're putting in, and it balances itself out. So just a matter of sort of surviving those ups and downs. All right, let's head over to the bullpen. Since all of these bulls in the bullpen are related to our breeding stock already, they're not going to be put back into the barn. So this is where I see our first real advantage to the herdsman. So let's grab all the bulls. Make sure I'm paying attention here. Don't miss any. Limousine Hereford bulls, water buffalo, and bulls. We're going to move all of these selected. Move 7 bulls into husbandry. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now if we come in here, and let's actually just put the herdsman stick down for a second and just come right on back in. So we moved 7 animals in. We got the history of messages. That's great. Love that. Coming into the herdsman, you know, first off, we want to sell these. We're going to enable him to sell. I think we're just going to put it at 100, mainly because we don't care. I mean, there's never going to be 100 animals in here, but I want him to be able to sell all the animals when they meet the criteria. So age, we want them to be at least 18 months. I think 2 years is going to get them the best value. Don't care about any of their features, any of their their health, their meat quality, fertility. We're just raising these until they're 2 years old. Actually, let's make it 18 months, and then they're going to be sold. So he is going to take care of that for us automatically. Apply changes. Make sure you're hitting that apply button, guys, if you're using the herdsman in the realistic livestock update. I've done that several times. It's sort of like hitting C to get everything moved. Wasn't paying attention, wasn't doing it early on. Same thing with the herdsman. Make sure you hit apply or your changes don't stay. So back to Teen Town here real quick. We're going to grab all of the adolescent animals and put them in here. Got a couple more. That is it. Not a lot. So we have, let's see, still 18 animals to go back in to the breeding barn. So we'll run back over here. Got to get all the way down to the breeding barn and get these animals put in. Still need to do the milk, still need to do the straw, still need to do the food, still need to do all of that stuff for the cows today. So we're going to take all of these. We know we are selecting all and moving all the husbandry, moving all 18 eligible female cows and heifers into the pen. Then we're coming over here and looking at why we have a couple of young ones over here. These must have been bought in previous episodes and just dropped off, so that's not a problem. They're aging up. So looking at our animals, want to see who is getting close to pregnancy and getting close to birth. When they hit 90% or they're old enough that we want to sell them, we are going to move them. So 13 months, all these are fine. Let's take a look. 80%, 10%. Yeah, we should be pretty good. 51 months. That is a good-looking animal, but that is not one we want. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually come in here and 51 months. We're going to mark that animal and just keep track of it for a minute. We have the bull that is aging up in here. That's fine. 36-month Swiss bull worth $4,700. He probably needs to be marked as well. So let's go ahead and get him marked. And we don't want to do artificial insemination with him. So we need to mark him. That is weird. It is showing up as being C for both commands here. So what if we come in this menu here? That is, I think we need to jump out and jump back in, guys. So you can see the mark still stayed, which is good. So come in here. Yep, so we'll have to pull them out separately. That's fine. So let's look at the rest of the animals. and see anyone at 90% pregnancy ready to go or not, or an animal that is not pregnant that is significantly older, 80% pregnant, 90%. Here is one, so that's Flash. Let's come down and find Flash here. All right, Flash has got to be one that we're going to be moving over to the birthing barn. 50 months, Faye, we're going to move. We're going to move Ocean because we had Ocean marked. We're going to move Godfrey because we had Godfrey marked. All right, Vanity, 51 months. Sadie, 51 months. 18, 19, these are all animals that are aging up that we purchased. None of these are 90% or more pregnant. No suitable male animal. That is why we need to work on the artificial insemination. So we will do that next. 90% with 2 babies, no suitable male. So yeah, we have some of these that have bred through and are no longer eligible to breed with any of the males in the pen. That is a critical thing for us to know so we can keep the herd going. And the great news is, with the new realistic livestock mod, we can do that with the Herdsman. So not a big deal. Just getting through the rest of this. I know, guys, a lot of time in the menu, but this is what it takes when you have a herd of 300 plus animals, trying to keep them all in order. This is what I do mostly before every episode, before you guys come in, is get all the animals sorted, shifted, put where they need to be. Hoping that with some of the automation we can bring in because of the Herdsman, we will be able to automate a lot of this and make it a lot easier for us. So not many animals that need to be moved out of this pen. That is all right. 90%. Gizmo is 55 months getting moved. All right, age 35 months. 35 eligible animals. That is crazy. So let's see, 12 months. Yeah, see, none of these are pregnant. We have a lot of animals that are not pregnant, which is critical to the success of the ranch, is keeping those animals pregnant. And we have a couple of bulls here. So we're going to go ahead and move selected 14 animals that are either too old and need to be removed from the breeding pool or need to be put into the birthing barn. Let's come down here. Let's look at finding some very good dominant animals to buy some straws from to add to our breeding pool. So we get 20 straws from Storm. We're going to see who else is in here. Who else? We have very good. Jacob is pretty decent. Black Angus is one that we definitely had some problems. Neptune. Let's get 20 straws as well. Coming down, very good. Xavier, we're going to do 20 straws. And we're going to hope that the combination of having a bunch of straws around and having the bulls in the pen give us the opportunity to get these animals bred more quickly and more consistently. So artificial insemination enabled, maximum number of animals per month that they can work on. I'm going to put that at 100 again. Just means we want them to be done. Mark, we want them to be marked. Don't care if they have diseases or not. Any breed, any age, any quality, if they're in here and they're eligible, we want them to be bred. So that guy will work on that. We've given the Herdsman a nice battery of straws from a couple of different animals, and we'll go from there. I'm going to take these animals back to the birthing barn. The ones that are pregnant will go in. The ones that are too old are going to go to the nursing home, and we're going to set the nursing home to sell the animals that go in there as well. So we can just drop them off there and not have to worry about it. So animals that are pregnant, let's see, 90... Yeah, we got a bunch of old stock we're going to be getting rid of here. 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, and too old. So we'll move selected. 8 of the 14 are getting moved to husbandry. The other ones are going to be moved over here. And I'm basically going to set the nursing home pen to sell these animals if they're over 36 months. And that should ensure that every animal we put in here gets sold as we go. So select all, move selected, move to husbandry. Great. We do have a bull in there. Probably need to castrate him because we don't want to risk having him breed any of the cows overnight as they're getting sold. I guess it probably wouldn't be a big deal either way. But trying to integrate the new realistic livestock stuff with the herdsman into each of these pens and into the cycle to help us out, because this is a very, very labor-intensive process. So selling enabled, again, we're going to put this at 100 because we don't want him to be limited. I definitely want you to mark him. Any animal, any level, doesn't matter. Age, yeah, because I guess if they're in this pen, they're going out, right? So we could put them at anything over 4 years. Because I guess we could bring... Now, let's just have them sell. Anything comes in here, I want sold. Don't want to play with that. Make sure that's applied. And escape. So, that is the new animal routine. Got a couple of things set up with the herdsman that should be very, very helpful. Let's go ahead. I want to get the animal trailer moved up out of the way. Got to collect some slurry, collect the straw, make sure the animals are fed. So let's see about getting trailer tucked in right over here. Perfect. Go ahead and disconnect. Such a great sounding semi-truck. Let's go see about grabbing the slurry out of the barns. And then we'll run it up and we'll make sure the BGA is turned on. Now that we are in full leasing mode for the BGA and the other productions, got to make sure everything is running the way we want it to. 11,000 liters of slurry coming in from the birthing barn. Wonder what we have over here in the breeding barn. This is our biggest barn, the most animals. So let's see how much we end up with here. May have a hard time getting that in the trigger. Maybe? No. I'm at the animal trigger, guys. The slurry trigger's at the front. Should know better than that. Come on. So let's actually go to where the slurry is, and then it won't be a problem, I bet. Look at this. Hey, there's the slurry. And away we go. I'm thinking we had an update to the tanker pack today, or recently, and these are all supposed to be olive green, right? Wasn't that the color for all of our tankers on the farm? Main color, maybe they're all going to be tan. Okay, well, we had an update and it does not look like it is taking color right now. That is an interesting, I guess that's the main color. Tank color, let's see if that does it. Tank color, we had it on olive green is what we wanted. Okay, that works. Not sure what the main color is, but we'll make the main color black. $0, because that's the color we had this stuff beforehand. And I'm wondering, yeah, that looks like what I remember our tanker looking like. I was trying to think about it. That doesn't look like our tanker. All right, have the slurry from the 2 barns. Still need to go get the slurry from Teen Town. Not likely going to have enough room to get all of it, but we will do our very best. 7,000, it'll be real close. Actually, be real close to full. It'll be perfect. All right, so let's go dump the tanker over here on the way out. And let's find our tipper and get it full of manure. We'll have to run up there, but before we actually do the full run up to town and get everything done, I do want to get the animals fed and get straw in the pens if we need it. And we'll head up and make sure that the BGA is set up to take all of our goods and production. So, not sure which manure heaps are going to be full, but I like to start with this one. This one doesn't usually get a lot. We do like to keep it empty because it sticks out into the road just a little bit. Typically, we're going to hit the tree, aren't we? Oh, that was close, guys. Ooh, professional driving. Watch out. Getting by the skin of our teeth. This one tends to be quite full. I think we've been hitting this one pretty hard, getting stuff up there. Another 11,500 liters. And we've got the last manure heap up at the birthing barn. Right here in the corner. This one I think is going to have plenty. Let's see what we get out of it. Yep, 71,000 liters. Certainly more than our 45,000 liter trailer can handle. So let's get this all set up without driving in our wheat field that we just planted. And get this staged and ready to go. And then we'll go take care of feeding the animals, making sure they have straw, making sure they have water, all of the good stuff. Yeah, see, I knew the tanker was supposed to be green. It matches our trailer, is what I was thinking. Maybe? Cut it too hard? Did we lose our trailer hitch? I wonder if in the update we lost our trailer hitch. Nope. Didn't lose the trailer hitch, just can't drive. That's it. Blame the mods. So let's see. There we go. Just had to get lined up. Alright, so we're going to pull the TLX up over here off to the side, run back and get the animals taken care of. Then the last thing we'll do today is head on up to the BGA and get everything set up. So, let's go find our TMR truck. Should be parked in the birthing barn. Up out of the rain. Wonderful. Get these guys topped off. Do love the animation on this. The rotators. Oh, we stopped early. We full. Are they full? Wow, I would be surprised if they were full. 120,000 liters. They're full, guys. So let's get a full load of TMR set up for the morning. I like to leave it full. There are days when we are heavy in the birthing barn where it takes more than one truckload. 196,000 liters of TMR left. And you can see, here I'll jump out so you guys can see. This has the little scale display on it. Super cool detail. This mod just very, very neat. So, 32,000 liters of TMR in the truck, ready to go for the morning. Can't drive. Hitting the building, it's a bad thing to hit. Alright, there we go. I think it'll put just a little, yep, just a little bit of TMR in to top it off. Alright, how are we looking at the breeding barn. This is the one that burns through the food. We got 200,000 liters in here last time off the harvest, or off the hay cut. We're looking good there. Milk, 10,000, almost 11,000 liters. Still have 71,000 liters of straw and the 55,000 liters of manure, so they are good to go. How are we looking over here at Teen Town? We definitely need some food in here. Straw's okay, not a big deal. So let's get a couple of bales out here. That's a partial hay bale. We can certainly start with that one. Don't need straw at the moment. And then let's grab 2 more here. Jump into the Massey Ferguson. Let's go ahead and drop the bucket. Can we sneak around it to grab the bale fork? We sure can. Lots of rainy weather today, and it's like September was rain, October was rain. I think we even had rain in August as well. It's been a very rainy year 4 on the ranch. I think that one is probably going to fill it up. Yep, that one filled it up, so let's snag it. Do feel like they need some more straw in there. You can see a bit of the floor. Not real keen on having those guys just existing on concrete, so let's make that situation better. I'm going to drop this right here. With these open pastures, we really have to bring these bales in. Man, this thing is spinning around. You have to bring these bales in on end to get them in. They just don't really fit too low. Maybe that's the problem. I think I had the fork touching the ground, or we had some uneven ground. So coming back at it and just drop it in. Perfect. Can't forget we have to water these guys too. We should not need to put much food in the nursing home because they're going to get sold, but we don't want them being without food. They have 108,000 liters. They are going to be just fine. Let's drive around and hit the calf huts. Make sure they are topped off and fed. Then we jump to the water, maybe a little bit of straw. We are always, always, always short on straw on the ranch. We could plant so much wheat we would have nothing to do with it, or barley, or anything else that gave straw, and we would have so much of it and never use it. All right, get that one filled up. This is why I use the hand cart to feed the calf huts, because as you guys see, you pull over here, have the hay, nothing, and then as soon as it hits the ground and the forks are out of it, then it fills up. Whereas with the little cart over there, you take the straps off and just drive by and it just goes right on in, easy as can be. Love that cart for getting this done, but since we had the Massey out already, we had this partial bale we wanted to finish, thought may as well do it with what we got. We are going to top off the empty calf huts, because when we get too many calves, we do end up putting them in here, and we don't want to ever start them. I think this may actually be full from last time. We don't ever want to have the calf huts half full and then overnight the brand new calves go without food. Yeah, that one's full over there to the left. I was hoping to get rid of this bale. We may have to go give it to the bullpen. We did not use a lot of it to get all of the calf huts topped off this morning. All right, well, let's go ahead and give it to the bullpen. There are plenty of animals in there. And then it is going to be watering time. And then we're going to take everything up, the manure and slurry up to the BGA, check on the progress of our prefab walls and furniture at the woodworker. I don't suspect we'll have a bunch more, but check on the progress nonetheless. Let's get the massey put away outside or underneath the shed out of the rain. You know what we do need to do? We need to get straw. How much straw do we need here, guys? Let's take a look. They are at 20,000 of 30,000. So let's grab them 2 bales. And we'll put the bales under the shed roof, and they can be there as long as they need to be until they go into straw. We have 1 full bale. And what do we have in regards? We have 3 additional full. We have 1 partial bale, I should say, and 2 full. So let's go ahead and grab these. This is pretty much the morning routine at the ranch. Lots of little chores to do, lots of work to do, lots of animal rotation. I'm very hopeful that with the update to the realistic livestock mod, that we will have that Herdsman doing some good work for us. It's a great addition because not only does it get some work done for us, but it also, the Herdsman takes a wage, so we're paying a guy, you know, like we're supposed to take care of the animals. So, like a hired hand on the ranch. I'm thinking that I am not paying enough attention, and the straw trigger is right over here over the fence. So let's go ahead and put it in. There we go. You can see the straw plane filling up already. Bring up the forks, and we'll leave that bale right there for them to enjoy. Time to get the massey out of the rain. Make sure the animals have water, get the milk, and then we're going to take everything up to town. So getting awfully close. The Fiat is the best tractor for the yard work when it comes to the tankers and everything else. Zipping around in and out of the tight areas, in and out of the barns. This thing has been with us from the beginning and is an absolute machine at getting the work done. So, head on over here. We'll grab our milk tanker. I don't think it's worth collecting buffalo milk today. Didn't look like we had enough. Try not to make extra trips every day. If we can't even make a pallet or close to a pallet of buffalo mozzarella, I don't see a lot of point in dragging it all around. So we'll loop down here, grab, I think it was what, about 11,000 liters of milk out of the breeding barn. Then we'll zip down to the other side of the birthing barn and fill up over there. Just got to get tight into this corner. There we go, lids open. And 10,873 liters of milk. That'll make some more cheese, guys. After we sold 92 pallets of cheese. That was an insane sale to get us over $1 million. And at this stage, guys, we are just pushing for the $4 million mark. We are here to make money. That's what we want to be doing. So anything we can do. So we're going to have just about 16,000 liters of milk. Yes, 16,465. So not a bad haul for today. Hopefully, with the addition of the new bulls and the Herdsman working with all those straws we purchased, we'll have a lot more pregnant female cows starting in November, which will, of course, increase the number of animals on the farm and help with our milk production and keep us on track. Dropping this off, then we just got to go do the water. And that is the farm yard work for the month of October. That is a lot. We are a full production cattle ranch. As you see, it takes a bit of time to get all of this stuff in and done every single day. So just about there. You can see the milk coming out of the back of the tanker there. Love this mod too. The Universal Tanks by Alpha LSFM Innovations is a great one. If you're not familiar with it, definitely go and check it out. All right, big question of the day. Where did we leave our water tanker? I don't see it over here. Don't see it over here. Well, there it is. Found it. So it has to be around here somewhere. Missed it. Alright, let's make sure we get all of the calf huts. They don't take a lot of water and they need to be filled absolutely every single day. So we want to make sure we get all of them. And that this is, we have a little overlap with the greenhouse trigger there, so we got to be careful. We'll come back and get the greenhouses at the end, but really want to make sure that our calf huts are filled up with water. Got a nice pump right here. We can top off the tank. All right, let's jump in. I like to visually check and then also come in here. So, all right, nursing home, there it is. Got it labeled, guys, the nursing home pen. Calf Igloo 7, Waters 400, 8's 400. Calf Igloo 2, see, we missed one, 17. That's a problem. We're going to have to make sure we get that one. Calf Igloo 1 is 400, 3 is 400. All the rest are 400. So Calf Igloo 2 was missed. Now, is that this one right here? Let's take a look. Let's figure out which one Calf Igloo 2 is. Shouldn't be this one. That's 8. Calf Igloo 2 right here. Yep, we missed it. All right, let's double check. The Calf Igloo 2 is now filled up. Calf Igloo 2 is now filled up. Excellent, excellent. We can leave this guy right here, topping off the greenhouse. And when we come back, he'll be full-ish. And we'll be able to go fill up the open pastures. But to wrap up today, because that was a long one, guys, just wanted to get the new processes and the new episode, or the new mod updates into the gameplay. So we're all set on that stuff. Our productions in town are now owned by the map. We're leasing the ones we need, which I think is a much better way to do that. With the update to realistic livestock, we have made the changes in our gameplay. Got to check the animals for diseases as we're going through in the morning too. We did a little bit of that. We will be getting messages about that kind of stuff overnight, but I expect that we will be treating some of our animals for illness as well. We have the herdsman in charge of the bullpen and the nursing home in regards to selling some animals for us. Animals that we're either pulling out of rotation, or the bulls when they get old enough, because we don't want to put them back into the breeding stock of the cattle ranch, because their genetics are already, it's a closed system basically at that point. And then we do have the herdsman employed to assist in our breeding barn in an attempt to get animals pregnant. We did see, was it 2, maybe 3 animals that did not have a suitable male in the breeding barn, so our genetic pool is definitely getting pretty small. So we bought a bunch of straws from a bunch of different male animals that had good genetics, and gave those to the herdsman to attempt to help us with that stuff. So Want to make sure we have this leased, so we're not going to be selling this stuff. We do have the BGA leased. That is exactly what we want. So let's empty the slurry in here. Let's check the BGA. We're going to be activating manure. We're going to be activating slurry. And I think that is going to be it. Manure, it says they're out of, which is fine. We brought 45,000 liters with us, so that is all good. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos. Channel memberships are available if you'd like to support my content further, and members do get early access to upcoming videos. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.